James Bell of the Boxing Source here with another video. And this video here is to talk about the situation with the world heavyweight titles. We've went through the past 3 days, including today, and we have seen the three press conferences for the rematch between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua for the IBF, the WBO, the WBA Super Championship, and the IBO Heavyweight Championship. They stopped in Diriyah, Saudi Arabia, which is the site of the fight. Then they stopped at New York yesterday, and today they were over in London for their final press conference before things get started up for both of those guys, Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua, to get prepared for their big rematch on December 7th. And with that, going down, at least we know the situation about, most of the heavyweight titles. Because, June 1st, we had that upset by Andy Ruiz over Anthony Joshua in Madison Square Garden, which immediately Joshua invoked the rematch clause for that. So that fight is basically being put on the forefront in the boxing scene here in the tail end of 2019. But now, seems like we're having news about what is going on with the other heavyweight championship. Um, just got something from World Boxing News saying that the date that was put in place for the rematch between Deontay Wilder and Ruiz-Ortiz is being moved from November 9th. Um, if y'all have caught an earlier video, we pretty much said that, that was one of the possible dates that it would be on either November 9th or November 23rd. But it kind of goes into the uncertainty of what is happening with the WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. If y'all could recall, earlier this year, after he scored the first round knockout over Dominic Brazil on May 18th, he did put up an announcement of his plans for his next two fights. He said he was going to fight Ruiz-Ortiz, and then he was going to fight Tyson Fury. He said that he wanted to right his wrongs and pretty much get back at Ruiz-Ortiz and Tyson Fury, even though he did defeat Ruiz-Ortiz on March 3rd, 2018 at the Barclays Center by knockout. But the thing with Tyson Fury on December 1st, 2018, that ended up being a draw. But now with this whole thing with him and Ruiz-Ortiz, the rematch, originally they were trying to set the date for late September. I guess it would have been September 28th, the end of this month. But that date was scrapped, and now you have in its place the unification bout at welterweight between Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter. So they had moved the date for the rematch between Ruiz-Ortiz and Deontay Wilder over to November. It's going to be set for November 9th, and now it seems like that is out of the cards. So they're trying to secure a date. But the thing about it is like there's so much uncertainty with what's going on here. Kind of like has this fight being up in the air, so to speak, because with it being announced fairly what is it, about almost 3 or 4 months ago, you would think that they would have things set for that particular bout as, both parties in reference to the Wilder-Ortiz rematch, are under Al Heyman. So you would think that most of those details had already been set in stone and done, and now they could, put tickets up for sale and whatnot. But right now, that basically seems up in the air. And when you listen to Deontay Wilder and what he's been saying over the past couple of weeks or so about him, potentially uh, dropping the rematch between him and Tyson Fury to fight the winner of Ruiz and Joshua, kind of like trying to take some of the attention off of the rematch. Kind of like tells me that there's a lot of uncertainty that's going on with Deontay Wilder and his fights when it comes to him fighting Ruiz-Ortiz next. And um, now there's been rumors circulating that the fight between Wilder and Tyson Fury might not even be on for February of 2020. Well, with that, I kind of say this: if you're going to have Deontay Wilder fighting Ruiz-Ortiz in November, there is little to no chance that he's going to come off of that particular fight and then turn around to fighting Tyson Fury in February of 2020. Whether Wilder gets a first round knockout over Ruiz-Ortiz, or if he struggles with Ruiz-Ortiz like he did in the first fight in March of last year. So that also goes into the uncertainty when it comes to the direction of Deontay Wilder, who has been the WBC champion since 2015. And it goes into one of the many criticisms that I've had when it comes to the career of Deontay Wilder, and why some Deontay Wilder defenders say that I'm one of the biggest Deontay Wilder haters in the planet. But I just see what's out there when it comes to Deontay Wilder, and this recent news that had been posted out by World Boxing News kind of like goes into my case of him not being handled correctly when it comes to his career and his direction and what he should be doing as a fighter and as a heavyweight. So that's pretty much the topic at hand here. Is you got one side, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz having a rematch. They got the press tour off and running, and it pretty much went smoothly out there. But on the flip side, with Deontay Wilder, just seems like his career direction is, uncertain right now. And you wouldn't have pretty much thought of that, going into the beginning of this year, where, we kind of like thought they would have gotten to an immediate rematch with Tyson Fury after the December 1st, 2018 bout. But nope, that got scrapped. So then he had to scramble and go ahead and fight Dominic Brazil for that WBC mandatory. And then he makes the announcement of that 2-fight plan. And now the first fight of that plan seems to be up in the air. Let me know what you think about, Deontay Wilder and his uncertainty as far as like fighting Ruiz-Ortiz in November. And also be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source YouTube channel. And you can catch the Boxing Source radio show live on Blog Talk Radio Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.